It is another interesting edition of the Market Review where we discuss key developments in the financial and capital market as it affects the economy. Today, we'll be focusing on how the capital market can support Nigeria's economy in 2022. And my guest is Mr. Olatunde Amolegbe, FCIS, the President, Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Nice to have you on the program and Happy New Year to you. It's safe to say that, still January this year.
Thank you, Otto. It's my pleasure to be here again. And good morning to your viewers.
Very well. And before we begin the conversation, let us give you a wrap-up of key developments that occurred in the market last week. Further to its earlier circular released on 16th December 2021, the Securities and Exchange Commission issued a reminder to all capital market operators and relevant stakeholders that the 2022 registration renewal exercise will end on 31st January 2022 and there will be no extension. Capital market operators that fail to renew their licenses will be barred from performing capital market activities in 2022. The renewal portal that will be assessed for that is eportal.sec.gov.ng for all capital market operators. Also last week, the Nigeria Exchange Limited deepened its collaboration with the Securities and Exchange Commission to undertake innovative initiatives that will drive the development of the Nigerian capital markets, flowing from a shared mandate to deepen liquidity in the market, increase domestic and foreign participation, and position the Nigerian capital market for global relevance. NGX, SEC, and other capital market stakeholders held a strategic meeting last week to discuss viable initiatives to further develop the markets. We go on a break, and when we return, we'll continue this interesting conversation.
Tune in to Web TV Daily to stay up to date and informed on the financial market, personal finance, and more. We have got you covered with all your favorite TV shows, economy and politics, market review, women's series, millennial talk, Islamic Finance Weekly, The Brief, exclusive interviews, events, and we keep you up to date on all the updates in the financial market with the market opening gong. Watch premium content, watch Web TV. Same news, different perspective.
Welcome back, and if you're joining us, it is the Market Review, and my guest is Mr. Olatunde Amolegbe, FCIS, President of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Good morning once again, Mr. Olatunde Amolegbe. It's quite an interesting month so far. We're seeing a lot of traction and activities. Like I read from the stories from last week, Securities and Exchange Commission speaking to capital market operators on their licensing and renewing of their activities for the year, and of course NGS and SEC meeting with other stakeholders to see how they can drive the market, deepen liquidity. But what's the outlook for the capital market from the position as the president of CIS? What do you see happening this year?
Our outlook and the way we perceive the market to go this year, 2022 was highlighted at a program we had last week, as you probably know. And, our research and technical team did a quick run through of the activities in the outgoing year, and also gave a comprehensive outlook for 2022. In summary, the expectation is that this year is going to be witness heightened uncertainties and heightened risks coming from the continuation of the COVID pandemic, and also the uncertainties that typically accompanies penultimate year to the general election in Nigeria. These two are expected to contribute to increased uncertainties in the market. But from where we stand, we know that the market has shown resilience over the years. We expect that resilience to continue. But our expectation is that investors will move with a bit of caution in 2022. Of course, we expect that the economy and the market itself will continue to recover. We've seen that, from the very beginning of this year, the recovery or the pace of the recovery could be impacted by these uncertainties I've mentioned. But all in all, we expect the market and the economy to close positive at the end of 2022. But the pace of it will be determined by, the society uncertainties that I've mentioned.
I like the way you've closed it, that it's you see it ending positive, despite those two heightened uncertainties, which are the pandemic-induced issues and, of course, the pre-election year. But from the standpoint of the Charity of Stockbrokers, at the end of your discussions looking at the year, what are the recommendations, key recommendations, as it ties to how the capital market can support our economy? Take into cognizance of the fact that late last year, the 2021 to 2025 National Development Plan was rolled out, and the private sector is expected to play a key role. The capital market is part of that driver.
The object of the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, the primary object is to grow infrastructure, reduce unemployment, increase ease of doing business and investments, and of course, tackle climate change. All of these are noble objectives. Ultimately, the aim is to ensure that policy reduces unemployment significantly, puts back, and also reduce poverty. Infrastructure. Developing infrastructure requires capital, long-term capital in various forms. It's clear that those long-term capital are better raised from the capital market than any other, short-term outlets you could possibly look at. Our belief at CIS is that if there's encouragement through the capital market, and there are incentives, our Nigerian capital market has shown capacity to be able to finance infrastructure in various forms. So the encouragement will be in the form of various incentives that the government can provide, so that the sort of innovation and the sort of impetus to invest that we know is there can be encouraged. Those financing will also come through the capital market. So there's multiple benefits for the government to want to encourage the growth of the capital market in its various forms, because encouraging that improves finance flow improves infrastructure and private sector employment, with the knock-on effect of reducing poverty and increasing employment. All right, so I mean, what we will continue to say and what we will continue to encourage government to do is that as it's formulating these policies, the finance side of it should also encourage all the markets, to stand up and play their role, as we have seen in other developed markets where the capital market remains the main source through which long-term development is financed. Because it only makes sense because of the relatively long gestation periods of most of the investments that the government is looking to make.
From the CIS standpoint, what is your perspective around this? What would you like to see rejigged to improve the capital market ecosystem?
The master plan, I think, is due for review. It's been running for a few years now, and nothing is ever permanent. Things are always changing, so it's only apt for the master plan to also reflect the changes that is happening within the market. I'm aware that the FCIS doing quite a bit of consultation. I believe strongly that if they take together, on the operator of to come up with the new master plan, we should ultimately be able to come up with a plan that ensures the continuous growth of the capital market. And the growth of the capital market has to be hinged on increased time efficiency, increased cost efficiency, and increased operational efficiency, and increased competitiveness. All right, that has to just be the pillar upon which the master plan is built. So if we're able to achieve all of this, then the master plan will ultimately achieve its main objective of contributing to the economic growth of the country. So these are the ingredients that needs to make up the new capital markets master plan. I think that it is important that the new capital market plan ensures that the functions of the various players within the market is clearly delineated, such that each player is able to play his role in an effective way. All right, and responsibilities are clearly defined, so that we don't do, because overlap just causes confusion in the marketplace. So the new plan has to ensure that it involves the most efficient capital market architecture.
Okay, all right. That's very clear to understand. Efficiency in time, costs, innovation is very key, competitiveness, and of course, improving the whole operations of the ecosystem. Now, let's look at subnationals. Maiden Nigeria Exchange Limited Capital Market Conference, which you attended, governors talked about the need to improve the environment for them to participate in the fixed income market, where you have bonds and the debt capital market activities. What can we do to improve the whole process? What bottlenecks or challenges can be addressed for states to really participate more?
Firstly, I'm glad that at least some states have been successfully attracting capital from the capital markets, or are coming to the capital market to raise capital. And I think that most states can actually access the capital market for the capital they need for the development of their various states. And I actually feel that the sort of capital, the type of capital that the states can access, can actually go beyond fixed income assets. There are lots of innovative products that the capital market has, which each state can access depending on its strengths and depending on the transparency of its finances. Because one thing that is clear is that the capital market abhors opaqueness. So if the states are able to get their finances in order, all right, and they are able to show investors the transparent way that the finances are being managed, then the potential for them to be able to access capital through the capital market is actually limitless. States have unique strengths. Some state strengths is in information technology, for instance. Some state strength is in agriculture. Some state strength is in natural resources. These strengths present themselves at avenue to attract investors and attract investment via the capital markets with innovative solutions. But it has to start with self getting their financial act together, being transparent in the way they manage their finances, and being clear as to the way they are going to deploy whatever capital they are able to raise through the capital market. If they're able to do all this, the potential for them to be able to raise finance, to grow their strengths and contribute in a meaningful way to national development is actually quite enormous. And in doing that, they are able to also generate employment for the indigents of their states, and also be able to take people out of poverty. So I mean, the capital market provides enormous potential for the states, but their ability to be able to access that potential starts with them getting their own acts together, physically in their states.
Yeah. So the fiscal plan, the public finance management for states is very key to assess the markets. The need for government to provide incentives and, of course, leverage the capital market in the area of infrastructure financing is also very important. And the capital market master plan, the revised version, should consider time, costs, and the issues around operational efficiency and delineating, most importantly, the roles of all capital market players to make it effective for the ecosystem. Thank you very much, Mr. Olatunde Amolegbe, FCIS President of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, for this interesting conversation to understand how the capital market can support Nigeria's economic growth in 2022. Thank you once again for the time.
It's my pleasure also. Thanks for having me once again. And I would like to use the opportunity to also congratulate you and ProShare for the great work you are doing in providing financial information to the teeming investors and the teeming populace of Nigeria. And congratulate your platform for on the 15-year anniversary. You guys have done very well, and I wish you many more years of success forward.
Thank you very much, and all the best to the CIS as they continue to drive capacity development in the capital market. Thank you once again. And that will be all for this edition of the Market Review. You can follow us on our social media handles displayed on the screen, and if you want to send a question or make a comment or suggestion on the conversation today, which looked at the capital market and how you can support Nigeria's economic growth in 2022, send them to otobasi.abasecon@prochange.com. We'll be glad to respond to you. Also, visit our website, www.prochange.com. We have the capital market captured for you, from the equities to the fixed income to unlisted OTC securities and also commodities. We have them all captured for you in our analysis and reports, and also activities of regulators. Don't forget, this is a very eventful year, and you just have to get the right investment information to make the wise decision. It's very important for your financial future. And where else but to log on to ProShare and engage us further. So, wishing you a great day, and till we come your way again, thank you for watching and have a nice day.